Okay, we're about to start. The 10th regular session of the 21st City Council is now called to order. Invocation by Honorable Councilor Yan Lamlim, followed by the singing of the Lupang Hinirang and the Cagayan de Oro March. Please rise.
Presiding Officer Madam Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, mga kauban ko 31st Council ug mga atong mga bisang maayong hapon sa tanan. For those who are Catholic, please make the sign of a cross. Internal sources of wisdom and compassion, we come before you in gratitude for the privilege to serve our people. Bless this council with guidance, clarity, and unity as we deliberate for the good of our city. Grant us wisdom to discern what is just, courage to uphold the truth, patience to listen with respect, and compassion to understand the needs of those we represent. My personal ambition and division never guide our action, but rather a spirit of humility, fairness, and service. Bless our work today that the decision we make may bring hope, peace, and progress to our community. We entrust this meeting to you, Lord, as to Jesus, to Christ our Lord. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, ewas ang sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisikin, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagaw. Ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na
be seated. Mr. Secretary, please do the roll call.
Honorable City Vice Mayor Jocelyn B. Rodriguez, Presiding Officer. For the First District Councilors, Honorable Desiree Ann M. Dahino, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable Juancho R. Pascual, Honorable Agapito Herberto G. Swan, Honorable George Christopher Q. Goking, Honorable Morino Y. Daba Defort, indisposed, Honorable Alpi Ligaspi Sr., Honorable Amy Rose P. Moreno. For the Second District Councilors, Honorable Ivona Yasini B. Imano, Honorable Maximo T. Rodriguez III, Honorable Paulo Nicolo Gaani, Honorable Joylene Mercedes L. Balaba, Honorable Yanlam S. Lim, Honorable Enrico D. Salcedo, Honorable Hilda O. Gu, Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Marlo L. Tabak, Liga ng mga Barangay President, Honorable Kenneth John D. Sakala, City Escape Federation President, and Honorable Dato Roberto P. Cabaring, IPMR. There is quorum, Madam Presiding Officer.
Quorum is hereby certified. May hapon ka na tong tanan. The honorable members of the 21st City Council, maayong hapon. And of course, Mr. Secretary Arturo San Miguel and staff who are here right now, our viewers, no, via Zoom, our friends from media, our guests who are here today, maayong hapon. Before we proceed, is the birthday of our Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas, his 25th birthday. May we request the pro tempore Councilor Roger Abaday, please rise.
Happy birthday to our majority floor leader. Okay, slowly lang slowly. Wa pa mabot ng litson. Okay, 1, 2, ready, sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, father, little bit father. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Birthday na happy pa. Happy birthday! Hey!
Happy birthday, Majority Floor Leader Attorney Edgar Cabanlas. How blessed are you with this, at this moment of time, no? Still alive and kicking, doing marathon. Sus, kinsa may makalupig nimo, nga kami wa naman may dagandagan. Anyway, somehow, Majority Floor Leader, we wish you all the best. More life ahead, more healthy life ahead, of course, harmony and peace to you and family. So, Majority Floor Leader, you have the floor now. Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
Thank you very much to our diligent and alluring Vice Mayor.
Inasan na nga description, yun ang timanan.
Salamat sa sa kanta, sa awit, I never expected that I will reach this particular time in my life.
Yes,
Yes.
still,
So I have to be thankful,
yes.
I think, to God, and also thankful to have you guys beside me, with me.
Mm.
You have given me inspiration, and the people of Cagayan de Oro, whom we are serving to the best of our ability. So may hapon sa tanan to the friends we have in the gallery, people who are watching us in the respective social media outlets. Madam Chair, may I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the previous regular session of this council on September 8 to 2025 and consider the furnishing copies thereof as reading itself.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
On the special report portion, Madam Chair, there are 3 four members of the City Council who intend to render special report. First, we have Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba with regards to issues and concerns of the pottery makers of Barangay Bulwa. Second is Councilor Maximo T. Rodriguez III with regards to traffic congestion due to non-observance of the track ban in major roads of Cagayan de Oro City. Two others, Turks, ito,
Councilor
Paulo Gani, foot and mouth disease, which is now becoming prevalent
Yeah.
in the city of Cagayan de Oro.
Mhm.
And also, Councilor Abaday, national protest on this
You wanted to join?
flood control project corruption. So that was this is the sequence, Madam Chair. May I request, Madam Chair, that Councilor Balaba be recognized first.
Councilor Girly Balaba, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. Vice Mayor Bebot Rodriguez, our presiding officer, to my colleagues and guests in the gallery and those watching us online. Maayad nga hapon kanatong tanan. Today, let us look at the plight of our potters and the pottery tradition of Cagayan de Oro City, a craft that connects us to our roots, our creativity, and our shared identity as Cagayanons. Archaeological discoveries in the Huluga area reveal that pottery in our city dates back thousands of years, linking us to the cultural tradition of northern Mindanao. Over the centuries, this craft lived in our communities, particularly in Barangay Bulwa, where the rich clay soil gave rise to generations of potters. The simple kolon or banga, clay jars, used in household became a symbol of local ingenuity and resourcefulness. Over the years, Bulwa gained wider recognition for its durable and high-quality ceramics with the establishment of stoneware pottery in 1994. Yet despite these achievements, pottery has faced challenges from economic pressures and loss of younger artisans, and now to being displaced from their own area. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, sad to say, our pottery industry is on the brink of extinction, and if we do not act on it on time, we might be losing one of our city's traditional and cultural industry. The plight of our potters in Bulwa should not be ignored. As a Cagayanon, the site of kolon or clay jars along Barangay Bulwa Highway is short of a home and considered one of our city's landmarks. But now, they are no longer there, and they are at a loss as to where they could put up and display their products. Kung dili nato matagaan og insaktong pagtagad og importansya ang ato ang mga potters, basin mawala na hinuon kanato ang usa ka industriya nga naghatag sa ato ang syudad og dungog og panginabuhian. Busa karon ako nanawagan sa atong lokal nga panggamhanan nga pangitaan og lugar ang ato ang mga potters sa Barangay Bulwa. Today, their story is not just of decline and a need for its revival. Their plight now is of survival. Let us increase our efforts to preserve, revitalize, and revive the local pottery industry as part of our broader strategy to boost cultural tourism. And by nurturing our pottery industry, we do not just preserve a craft. We strengthen our cultural identity and open new opportunities and creativity in Cagayan de Oro City. Daghang salamat.
Thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Al Gaspi, you have the floor.
Chair, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bibot Rodriguez, distinguished members of the 21st City Council, maayong hapon. This is to manifest my support to the matter presented by Honorable Councilor Girly Balaba. the chairman of tourism. Our barangay Bulwa is known as the home of clay pottery, a tradition that has given livelihood to many of our residents o garbo sa among komunidad o sa syudad sa Cagayan de Oro. I fully support the plan, so as I heard, to transfer the pottery display area, the best area as we are looking forward is the Bulwa westbound terminal. This will give greater visibility and accessibility to the products. In addition, I respectfully proposes that the local government consider purchasing land to serve as sustainable source of clay. Without a steady supply of the raw materials, our pottery industry cannot be preserved. By securing both venue for display and the source of clay, we ensure the continuity of this cultural heritage and provide lasting support to our clay makers. Sa kasayuran sa tanan, ang source sa raw materials sa gahimo sa pottery ug mga jars nagkagamay na lang tungod kay gipangbalayan na ang area. So mao na ang dako nga concern sa taga Bulwa, ilabi na kadtong mga gahimo gyud ang mga jars ug clay nga unta matagaan og pagtagad nga maka-purchase og land area diha sa site nga diin naa ang mga deposits sa red clay. Kay kung dili ni siya matagaan og pagtagad, mawala ang atong kuan diha sa Bulwa pottery. So muna ang akong gihangyo nga unta atong matagaan gyud siya sa pagdagad og concern. Daghan kay salamat.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Desdehino, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Maayong hapon sa tanan. I would like to manifest my full support sa special report ni Councilor Girly Balaba. I personally had a chance to visit the pottery in Bulwa. It's around 6,000 to 8,000 ang private session for the pottery. I was very interested in the craft, so I also spoke with some of the personnel, and they expressed their concern that the younger generation karon daw is no longer interested in the pottery kay ganahan na daw mag-cellphone. So that is why I believe it's not only economic or cultural matter, but also an educational one. So baka pwede nato introduce atong mga schools baka ha as part of a vocational or cultural education, because according to the personnel also na kuan sila sa Germany or exchange student. Yes. So it's more appealing also sa atong mga youth basta na mga ingani na mga hiskutanan na maka-travel, no? So we can also find ways to hype it up, whether through exhibits or festivals or collaboration, so that the tradition does not die out, but instead inspires pride in our heritage. So I strongly support Councilor Balaba's proposal, and I hope the City Council can explore integrating it with our education and tourism initiatives. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Evie Mano, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, good afternoon ug sa ato tanan nga maayong hapon. I believe this special report of the good councilor, Councilor Girly Balaba, she also made it in the previous city council. Now, I think it was also heard in committee here in the committee level, Madam Chair, and just so I could put this out here, we strongly support this. This is for sustainability. Kay kung mayroon taog product sa Cagayan, pwede na ni siya mahimo nga diri ta mailhan kung unsay atong kaya. no sa dakbayan sa Cagayan. And yes, sadly sakto to ilang ingon nga gakawala na siya kay wala na interested in kanang handcrafts. So, mga late last year, Madam Chair, after the special report of Ma'am Gurley, I was given the chance to join the Christmas party of TESDA in Xavier Gym. And then, nasturyan ako si RDOCPD, si Sir Abrogar, and si Ma'am Marigold. And I kind of asked them to check if pwede siya masulod sa TESDA ang pottery. Kay para, when we say sustainability, at least naitay action nga isulod siya for education. So kung naay mo enroll, dagan man gan like bakery, like barista, bartending, mahimo na siya nga appeal sa course. So mas masustain na to siya. And I do like the suggestion of Councilor Des, which is integrate na to siya sa mga batanon. But maybe open pod si Madam Gigi of the senior citizens, nga i-incorporate siya with the seniors, kaya seniors nga pangita og livelihood for their sustainability as well as their organization. Nastoryahan man gud to namo in the previous city council with the previous presidents, Madam Chair, nga kung makaya og mahimo ning TESDA, the seniors would be happy nga sila ang mahimo nga first nga murag pilot nga class nga scholar sa gobyerno kay para na sila ilang output nga pwede nila ibaligya, which the city then can partner for sustainability. So basin pwede po nato, Madam Chair, if here and when this will be heard in the committee, basin pwede i-invite po nato a representative from TESDA and the senior citizen. So thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilor Ali Gaspi, you mentioned about the areas that the houses are already erected in that area where they're supposed to get the raw material. So why is that not preserved? Are they owned by a private individuals?
Yes, Madam Chair. Private siya. Mostly katong gahimog yung mga pottery ilang yuta. So pero ga-explore sila sa lain nga area kay once nga imo na siya makalot mga about mga 1.50 meters hurot na ang kuan na ang red clay. So mobalhin na pud na og kalot. So mo nang akong gihangyo nga matagaan siya sa pagtagad sa siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro nga matabangan nato ang makakuha og land
Sa Bulwa
sa Bulwara na yung mga area diha nga
Bakante pa.
open pa siya private owned og mga titulado na siya kay kung dili siya maagpas kay sa tibok kung sa akong nahibalaan sa tibuok diri siyudad sa Cagayan de Oro, Bulwara ang dunay red clay nga mahimo siyang mga clay products. So muna akong gihangyo nga unta matagaan.
Yes, okay. So let's refer to the committee on livelihood tourism, Councilor Antoy. Antoy ang tourism. Livelihood is Councilor Hilda Go. Oh, Councilor Balaba. Oh, sorry. Councilor Balaba and Councilor Gigi Go. Kesa pa. Lagi. Okay. Yes, Councilor Girly Balaba. Yes, you have the floor.
Yes, Madam Chair, can we include our SEBDA chairperson? Because we are looking into the possibility of transferring our potters to the Bulwa terminal.
For display.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, with Councilor Majority Floor Leader Attorney Edgar Cabanlas. I hope they can find a place. Because dito ba taga-tultol, di ba? Umapalit ang clay, dito gid taga-tultol. Anyway, sige, refer to the 3 committees. Okay, thank you very much. So, Councilor John J. Rodriguez, you have the floor.
To our City Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, Majority Floor Leader, Honorable Councilor Birthday Boy Edgar Cabanlas, Minority Floor Leader, Honorable Councilor Agapito Suan, my colleagues in the 21st City Council, to our guests and fellow Cagayanons here in the session hall and watching us via live stream, maayong hapon natong tanan. It is no secret that traffic congestion is one of the pressing problems in our city. Every day, especially at around 7 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 7 p.m., the streets of Cagayan de Oro are barely passable by vehicles, even motorcycles. The rush hour, as we call it, barely even have a rush element to it. It is just commuters and motorists stuck, barely able to move, and ending up late to appointments and other important life events. Madam Chair, tinuod na daghan na matudlo na rason ani na kahasol. Regardless of who you ask, there can be different answers on who or what to blame. However, I believe one major factor is the fact that the truck ban is not properly observed here in our city. In 2007, the then City Council promulgated Ordinance Number 10551-2007, otherwise known as the Traffic Code of the City of Cagayan de Oro. One of the salient parts of this ordinance was Article 15, truck bans. Article 15, Section 97 of the Traffic Code explicitly banned the entry of trucks with 8 wheels or above, or those whose gross vehicle weight exceeds 4,500 kilograms at the areas of Poblacion, Cogon, as well as Carmen, including Masterson Avenue at the hours of 7 to 9 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. As for the Puerto Market, the ban hours are from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., dayon 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. daily. The traffic code is very clear which streets, directions, as well as the time this ban is enforced. However, Section 98 of the traffic code is where our problem comes from. According to it, and I quote, "Notwithstanding the provisions of this article to the contrary, CM Recto Avenue shall be open to cargo delivery truck traffic during the regulated time, provided that the said road shall be used only as transit, as going to the eastern side to Butuan City and western side to Iligan City." Kung bunot hunaw-naon, walay dautan sa pagpagamit sa atong mga kadalanan as transit areas, Madam Chair. We have to acknowledge the fact that CDO is the gateway of Mindanao and of course the city of Golden Friendship, where goods and services flow through 24/7. However, this fact has been exploited by scrupulous individuals who took advantage of this by pretending that they are simply transiting, not actually delivering to the numerous establishments around the city. In an article published by Gold Star Daily on June 28, 2025, this issue was highlighted along with picture evidence of trucks lining up on a major road, creating a traffic bottleneck. And I do have a genuine question. For trucks that are supposedly just transiting, are there mechanisms that the RTA employs to ensure that trucks out and about during ban hours are driving to our roads and lawfully to their final destination? And if so, how is this done without disrupting the already congestive traffic flow? Wala ko'y kakakita na checking, nagkakahitabo, sugod pa sa una, Madam Chair. Sa tidon na ipalang lisod good kayo ni enforce. Additionally, Section 99 of the Traffic Code states that cargo and or delivery trucks already within the prohibited areas as herein delineated shall, at the time of the regulated period for them not to enter therein, immediately stop and properly park in the closest designated parking space available, or when not applicable, along the shoulder of the road, and shall only be driven therefore from after the expiration of the regulated hours. Madam Chair, ano na ba kita insakto na enforcement ni ini? We barely even have ample dedicated parking space around the city. Wala na. To the point na nahimo ng parking areas ang mga interior roads ni syudad. One only has to go a little more than a few hundred meters from the City Hall and kita na kayo nga nahimo ng parking lot ang Capistrano. Even Burgos has been transformed into a parking area as well, and the street is barely even a few feet across. Asa may taon mo park ang mga truck kung mabukog sila, nasapon sila sa rush hour na specify sa traffic code. Let's say, a truck driver went out of the holding area at the port of Makabalan at exactly 6 a.m. I do not think it will arrive at its destination before 7 a.m. as specified by the code, as even at the wee hours of 6 a.m., numerous cars are already out at the road, including our children, Madam Chair. Sulod na sa ilang mga klase, sa ilang mga eskwelahan. Where will they even stay, for example, if they are still at CM Recto Avenue ang mga trucks, when the time is already 7 a.m. and the truck ban has begun? In this vein, allow me to present to you as well additional photo evidence taken by my office, my staff of the various major roads in the city, both in districts 1 and 2. 7 to 8, 9 to 10, 11 to 12, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. Moreover, there is evidence that the presence of trucks during the daytime creates not only traffic, but a high risk of vehicular accidents. One can simply go to the RTA's Facebook page and see post after post of trucks colliding with smaller vehicles. Gani, Madam Chair, nibiyahe kita last week sa atong late Kagawad, Kapirig. Paingon sa Bugo. Gikan dinhi sa Cagayan de Oro. 5 p.m. gikan dinhi sa City Hall. Padulong sa Bugo, usa ka oras to nga. Daghan gyud kay trucks. Even 5 p.m. Yeah. Grabe pa gyud kay nay nabanggaan sa akong kilid. Gamay siya na wigo nabanggaan sa truck. So kana, Madam Chair, even other trucks on a day-to-day basis, inani lang gyud ba ang realidad nato diri sa Dakbayan? Are we going to just let this happen? Are we just going to allow inconvenience and the possibility of otherwise avoidable accidents control our lives in this city? To be fair, basing on our council archives, there has been numerous efforts made by the city government across various administrations to address the growing traffic in our problem. There was Resolution number 13126, 2018, intended to constitute the Traffic Management Board, as well as Resolution number 13018, 2018, urging for the convening of the said body to address the city's traffic woes. Another was Ordinance number 13788-2019, wherein the city government and the Xavier University Engineering Resource Center agreed to share in the city's planned purchase of a planning software intended to address the traffic problem. And yet, we are still stuck here, unable to move safely, Madam Chair, and conveniently in our streets. Way back in 2016, there has been plans made by the RTA to expand the truck ban until noontime. Let me repeat that. 2016. We already have recognized the fact that this problem exists before traffic even came to the point to what is now in 2025. And yet, wala gyapon naitabo for one reason or another. Madam Chair, I am therefore here to propose the creation of an ordinance that the truck ban be implemented from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day to ensure that the city's roads will be for the exclusive use of its commuters, and that the rush hour will be indeed be the time for everyone to rush as it may to their respective destinations. I am not saying that the truck ban will be the absolute cure to this traffic problem that we have, but it is a step towards the right direction in easing the burden among our fellow Cagayanons who only want nothing but to be able to fulfill their obligations for the day by simply showing up to where they are meant to be. I also strongly urge, Madam Chair, that the members, our members here in our 21st City Council, to work to implement amendments to the traffic code to keep it up to date. Once again, I would like to remind everyone here present that was promulgated in 2007. That was 18 years ago. More importantly, an amendment to the ordinance on the truck ban is part of the proposed legislations mentioned in the Comprehensive Development Plan City Development Investment Program between 2020 to 2025. 2023 up to date. The 20th City Council has even adopted Resolution number 14615-2023 affirming the Council's commitment in taking charge of legislation that will implement change in our community. It is high time that the amendments be done. The Cagayan de Oro City that we have known in 2007 is barely the same to the one we are in right now, 2025. I understand though that some sectors will be impacted by this truck ban. Foremost would be the business sector. The trucks that have their goods are the lifeblood of this city's economy. As the chairperson of the Committee on Consumer Protection, I would like to ask for the sector's understanding and cooperation in this matter. Kasabot ko na dili lalim ang pagpadagan og negosyo kay matod pa nila, time is gold. Ang atong colleague si Councilor Gigi Gom kasabot gud ana. However, it is not just a select group of people who consider time as their gold. Ana atong mga trabahante, estudyante, o guban pa, kapanghimulos sa atong kadalanan. As a democratic society, Madam Chair, we need to think of and consider the common good. I am willing to work with all sectors to make this truck ban viable, as well as further efforts to address the traffic woes we have. I am certain that my colleagues in the 21st City Council are willing as well. We need to have the political will to protect the interest of the ordinary Cagayanon, regardless of the sector that they are in. Public office is public trust. Let us prove to our fellow Cagayanons that they trusted the right people to institute the change our city needs to truly become the Metro Cagayan de Oro. And I believe, from a personal point of view, Madam Chair, that will be the 21st City Council. The national government has envisioned us to become Metro Cagayan de Oro. May we always remember this. Katawhan una sa tanan. Dagang salamat ug maayong hapon sa atong tanan.
Thank you very much, Councilor Jan Rodriguez. Yes, Councilor Eric Salcedo, then Councilor Roger Abaday.
Daghang salamat, Madam Chair. Daghang po king salamat kang Councilor Congressman Junjun Rodriguez sa gwapo kayo ang iyang special report tungod kinakita niya ang problema, tinod gyud problema gyud sa traffic. For the information sa August body, Madam Chair, ang committee sa public utility nag-set og hearing adtong committee meeting adtong July 22. Tungod kay nakita nato ang traffic code kanang giingon ni Councilor Junjun Rodriguez nga atong 2007 pa sa to pa obsolete na gyud. Madam Chair, kanang higayunaan ng 2007 pag drop anang traffic code, dili pa ing anak kabisi ang Cagayan de Oro. Karon 2025 na. That's why, Madam Chair, ang gimo sa Committee on Public Utility, nag-create og TWG or Technical Working Group para motuon sa pag-amendar sa traffic code. Gani, Madam Chair, nakamugda na ta ang composition sa TWG para pagtuon sa pag-amendar sa aning kuwan para kay dili lang kay kanang truck ban ang nakita, Madam Chair, sa committee, appeal ang illegal parking nga nakita nato, Madam Chair, nga ang sulbad or solution sa illegal parking pag-impose og balik sa parking fee. Pero kung atong tan-awon ang traffic code, Madam Chair, kuan pa kayo, marag gamay pa kayo, marag 5 pesos naman siguro to, Madam Chair. Mo na nga kinanglang ginato i-amendar ang traffic code. Pero dili pud pwede nga dili walay representasyon sa mga lain-lain sektor, Madam Chair. Mo na nga ang composition sa TWG, Madam Chair, ang chairman siyempre automatic is ang RTA, ang si Engineer Noneto Oclarit. Ang mga membro din, Madam Chair, si Attorney Roy Hilario Ragas, ang City Administrator, Engineer Joel Mumungan, tungod kay kinahanglan tag engineering kung pananglitan na ay mga road widening, siyempre appeal man lugar na, Madam Chair. O ang atong building official, Engineer Rosana Rodriguez, ang atong acting head sa city planning, si Engineer Cabrera, ang atong Cagayan de Oro Chamber of Commerce, Madam Chair, si Engineer Almarco Breto, ang atong Cagayan de Oro Filipino-Chinese Community, Mr. Henry D. O ang atong transport sector, si Ms. Luz Biminda Escobidal o si Mr. Paul Sempron. O ang last, Madam Chair, ang atong Liga President, si Councilor Marlo Tabak. Gitagaan lang nato silang timeline, Madam Chair, atong sugod atong 2022, 90 days. Nga
90 days.
submit sila og recommendation for amendments sa committee. After sa committee, Madam Chair, ipasa rin na nato sa plenary. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Karon sa man ang 90 days nga mahuman?
Start sa July 22,
22,
August,
July,
September, October.
October. Okay,
Thank you,
that's
Madam
good.
Chair.
Okay, yes, Councilor Roger Abaday.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officers, my colleagues in the 21st City Councils, and all people who are listening us today. No, I like the wisdom of the good reporter, Jan, and the chairman of the Public Utility, Councilor Salcido. Actually, let us assess. Asa man nakakulang unsa man nakakos sa problema. Kay addressing the traffic problem caused by delivery trucks and heavy vehicles on the highway requires a multifaceted approach of combining with technology. Ang atong traffic lights karon warag things of the past. Sige lang, kipat-kipat bitaw. Muna yung sa kulang na to problema. Kay wala pa ma-improve ang atong technology. We are visioning to become a metropolitan city, but we have not improved our traffic lights and signals. So, ang atong mga kadalanan, structure, it needs changes. Then the solution must be focused on the managing of the traffic. RTA, the RTA. Okay na, ipa-review na to ang ano, bisag unsaon pa nato pa-review, bisag ang atong local public transportation LTP, local public transportation route gistudyuhan sa tanang mga may laki experts dinhi sa Cagayan de Oro na pay taga mga expert no until now impending pa wala pa may approve kay di gyapon pa ma-implement kay daghang kayong pagkulang daghang pangreklamo. So the city mayor has not yet implemented. No? So we have the policy, we have the ordinance, but the ordinance now, some of this provision is no longer applicable. That's why it needs to be reviewed. No? So atong i-assess kung asa ta nagkakulang. Bisan pag i-change pa nato ang time of truck bans. But if kulang gyapon ta og enforcement, kulang ta sa personnel to enforce the law, magbalik-balik lagi ang problema. So mao na nga we have to assess properly, no? Asa gid what the best approach that the city should do in our kanang problema. So we have to, if we want to reduce the congestion, improve the safety, and minimize environmental impact, again, this need to be improved. We have to adopt now the new technology. Then, of course, there if we want to minimize the flow of trucks and heavy vehicles, there is a need to improve our policy in designating the lanes of the truck or where to park and when to park. So that is it too. So it is a multifaceted approach. So I think I hope that the TWG will come up with the proper result of the study, Madam Chair and my colleagues.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Marlon Tabak, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the rest of the member of the City Council. I am very happy with the special report of Councilor Junjun Rodriguez and the comment also of the chairman of the Committee on Public Utility. Madam Chair, I am very happy because kung tanaw nato sa city, ang pinaka-bulk sa traffic na problema naa sa atong barangay Isagusa. Kung gikan ka sa city proper, upat kadagko nga kalsada, mo emerge pag-abot sa Gusa, usa na lang CM Recto. Gikan sa JR Bora Extension, Recto Avenue, Old Road Gusa, and Coastal Road. Pag-abot sa Gusa, mura na siyang imbudo nga usara kadalan ang gaagian. I am very happy, Madam Chair, to inform this council that the Honorable Congressman of the 2nd District, Honorable Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, with the Department of Engineering, District Engineering 2 Office, decided to utilize one of our city road in Barangay Gusa, that's Emerald Street, that connects to the Coastal Road as an urgent solution of the traffic from Bugu to city proper. Kaya kung imong tanawon, Madam Chair, gikan ang truck ban is 5 o'clock, pero ang traffic sa Coastal Road magsugod 2:00, 3:00 sa hapon. Kaya ang tanan nga dagko nga truck nga gikan sa Upol, nga di na makasulod sa Recto Avenue, ang ilang dalan is ang Coastal Road. Pag abot dito sa Gusa, usara kadalan ang iyang giagian. So basin maapil sa recommendation sa Technical Working Group, pagtanaw asa ang mga possible urgent nga mga city roads that connects CM Recto nga pwedeng ma-utilize karong mga panahona nga maagian sama sa proposal o suggestion ni Congressman Rufus to utilize Emerald Street as alternative road for light vehicles that connect Coastal Road, Madam Chair. Thank you, ug may hapon sa
Thank you very much, Councilor Marlon Tabak. So this is a challenge under which committee? Kay murag dugay nagyo kani nga problema ha. Nahimo na lang ko busy mayor. Sa tinuod lang, ha? Public utilities under Councilor Eric Salcedo, another challenge for you. So hopefully bisag magsugod lang ta nang ginagmay. Kanang parking sa Dublin, grabe na. No, that will decongest the traffic, pagtangtango na tanan ang mga yes, Councilor Eric, nga nagparking diha. Kay dugay na kay na, ga-avail sila sa mga spaces supposedly nga walay parking, dito magpark ang mga truck. Yes, Councilor Eric.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Siguro, Madam Chair, for the meantime, ongoing ang atong review for amendments sa atong traffic code. Atong hangyoon ang atong RTA. Dili gid hangyo. Kaya nan atong giingnon nga i-enforce ang ordinance. Kung unsay kisay violator, issue na to para one way ni siya nga ma-solve na to ang kay ako nadunggan sa ako nasabdan sa special report ni Congressman Junjun Rodriguez, Madam Chair. Enforcement magyud, including kang Councilor
Correct.
Aday.
Enforcement.
Enforcement magyud. Kaya enforce na to ang ordinansa kinahanglan nga dakop Madam Chair. Thank you.
Kana mo gyud sakto ha, bantay lang yun ka Councilor Eric ha, Salcedo. This is really a challenge to you. Tinuod na because this has been an ongoing problem sa una pa ni and wala gyud nato gi properly enforce kung say naa sa ordinansa. Hopefully nga ma-enforce after TWG, ma-enforce gyud na nato sa sakto with the RTA. Okay, thank you very much. Our next speaker is Councilor Roger ba to? Councilor Paulo Gaani. You have the floor.
Madam Presiding Officer, esteemed colleagues of the 21st City Council, friends from the media, and everybody watching here this afternoon, mayong hapon kaninyong tanan. I rise today to deliver a special report on a pressing matter of public health that has affected one of our most respected educational institutions and by extension, the families and communities of our beloved city. On September 11, the administration of St. Mary's School in Makasandig confirmed 8 cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease, not mouth-to-mouth, Councilor Roger. In response, the school immediately suspended on-site classes, implemented asynchronous learning, and began thorough disinfection of its classrooms and facilities. On-site classes are scheduled to resume on September 18 of 2025, provided that the situation is deemed under control. Madam Presiding Officer, colleagues of the 21st City Council, while hand-foot-mouth disease is generally considered mild and self-limiting, it is highly contagious, especially in school and daycare settings where children interact closely. Symptoms include fever, mouth sores, and rashes on hands and feet. Most cases recover fully within 7 to 10 days, but complications such as dehydration or in rare instances, neurological involvement may occur if not properly managed. This incident is not isolated. The Department of Health has noted a sharp increase in HFMD cases nationwide compared to the same period last year. There are also unconfirmed results of HFMD cases at the Cagayan de Oro National High School, Senior High, and Corpus Christi School at Xavier Heights campus in the last 2 weeks. We are reminded that vigilance and preparedness are key to preventing wider outbreaks. Allow me to therefore recommend several measures for consideration. The school-based infection control, aside from disinfection, schools should be guided to strictly enforce hand-washing protocols, provide alcohol-based sanitizers, disinfect common surfaces such as desks and doorknobs, and isolate any symptomatic pupils promptly. Barangay health centers can support these interventions. Community information campaign. Parents must be equipped with accurate knowledge on HFMD, how it spreads, what symptoms to watch out for, and when to seek medical attention. Information can be cascaded through school circulars, barangay assemblies, social media, and local radio programs. Preparedness for escalation. While the situation at St. Mary's appears to be manageable at this time, contingency plans should be ready in case other schools report similar clusters. We cannot afford complacency. Colleagues, this outbreak, through currently limited, should be treated as opportunity to reinforce our city health's resilience. Just as we have faced challenges in dengue, measles, and most recently the COVID-19. Let us not wait for HFMD to escalate before acting decisively. Madam Presiding Officer, the health and safety of our children must be our utmost priority. I would like to propose a resolution urging the City Health Office in coordination with the Department of Education and the Department of Health and private schools to implement enhanced surveillance, preventive measures, and public information campaigns in response to the confirmed cases of hand, foot, mouth diseases at St. Mary's School and to ensure protection of children across Cagayan de Oro. As the chairman of the Committee on Health, I urge this august body to extend full support to our City Health Office to ensuring a swift, coordinated, and transparent response. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councilor Pao, how many are affected individuals right now?
According to Dr. Rachel Dilia, Madam Chair, wala pa sila nakagather og specific nga number gyud kay naay uban schools nga wala nila gi-confirm, wala nila gipahibalo ang ato ang City Health, but ang
Ang St. Mary's pila ka
8 ang ilaha.
So wa pa gyud nag-gather ang uban
Wala pa gyud nag-gather kay ang uban is ang ilang una-una kay kani manggong hand foot mouth disease viral man guni siya. So basically magtakod-takod gini siya, Madam Chair.
Sa initial symptom.
Usually magburot-burot sa ato ang mga kamot,
Mga blisters.
Yes, mga blisters, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Viral. So walay cough or fever?
Naay fever, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Usually ang affected ani kay mga children gyud, especially mga bata kay mas mubo ang ilang immune system.
Asa man naggikan? I'm sorry, I'm just curious.
Yes, usually ang hand, foot, mouth and disease manggod, Madam Chair. Usually pag humid ang atong hangin manggod, hugaw, sigig ulan, munang ang mga bata usually sa play center, sa mga daycare, magdula-dula, makuha nila diha kay butang mo na nila silang kamot. Aside walay proper nga hygiene manggod, hand washing after magdula. So diha gina makuha.
So confined ra siya diha.
Yes,
Really coming from other places.
Dili,
or what
Madam
diha.
Chair.
Okay, thank you very much sa Councilor Paulo. Gani, yes, Councilor Janjan and Councilor Aimee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to commend our good counselor, Councilor Paulo Gane. May I suggest lang, Madam Chair, to include our public schools as well.
Yeah.
I heard only private school, so pwede public school. And then for that awareness, because siguro po, Madam Chair, ang akong bawaan man yun, pirmi na sila intertwined, pirmi maglibog ang mga bata or even mga parents kay abi nila chickenpox. Similar man gyud ang ilang signs and symptoms sa chickenpox. So dili siya ma-report as foot and hand mouth disease. So kana with the stricter awareness, of course the public information about this, mas maayo sa ato mga public and private schools kung pwede, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
But yes, I would like to commend our good counselor for this
Okay.
special report. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Councilor Pao, then Councilor Aimee.
Thank you for that, Councilor Congressman Janjan Rodriguez, for the recommendation. Actually, akong nasayit na ay sa Cagayan de Oro National High School. Siguro sa proposed resolution, i-specify lang
Yes.
nga private and public
Yeah.
schools, especially sa grade school. Thank you for
Okay,
that, Madam
thank you
Chair.
very much. Yes, Councilor Aimee Moreno. Did you raise your hand? No, I'm sorry. Okay, our next speaker is Councilor Roger Abaday. You have the floor.
Thank you very much once again. My report is about the recent issue, the ongoing massive demonstration nationwide against corruption, particularly in flood control and other issues. Now, the mantra that I have learned while still a student, I told my professor how to solve corruption in our country. Yun siya, if corruption be removed in our government, the government will collapse. God forbid. You know, at the start of September this year, rallies against corruption were launched in different parts in our country. We have witnessed that in social media and even now in our news, no? This demonstration were joined by civil society groups, good governance advocates, students from universities and colleges in Metro Manila and various sectors nationwide. In Cagayan de Oro just yesterday, last Sunday, students from universities and colleges, progressive groups, religious sectors, staged walkout and gathered in front of one of the universities here in Cagayan de Oro and other areas in our town. They protested and chanting and sounding automobile horns as a show of sympathy and condemnation of corruption in government. In various groups, these various groups are now calling for a massive nationwide protest on September 21 at Rizal Park, coinciding with the anniversary of the declaration of martial law. In addition, the transport group are set to hold a 3-day nationwide transport strike on September 17 to 19. Now, amid this going protest, peace and order at the local level are directly affected. The City Development and Security Council is designated body to address such concern, and its convening by the local chief executive is necessary step to ensure a coordinated, strategic, and responsible approach in managing the situation while upholding public safety and the constitutional rights of protesters. While the City Development and the Security Council is required to meet quarterly, its mandate also states that it should convene as often as the need arises to assess the potential risk, discuss situation, and plan appropriate measures. As the chairman of Peace and Order and Public Safety Committee, I suppose to convene this August body to pass a resolution earnestly requesting the Honorable City Mayor Orlando Clarix Uy as a chairman of the City Development and Security Council to immediately call a coordinating meeting with the members of the City Development and Security Council, the city, at this appropriate time. But when I opened my email just this morning, I was perplexed because it was coincidentally kami sa DILG warag na dunay mental telepathy. Pareha. Kay there was a notice, I think the Vice Mayor and member here were
I'm supposed to tell you that tomorrow is the
invited,
meeting.
no? Invitation to have a meeting with this committee. So at the tourism mall. So I think that warag nakausa ang among una. So I would no longer I will forgo my proposal. Warag nakapareha man. So anyway, I further request that our armed forces, especially the task force Oro, the COCPO, the regional and provincial commanders, and the intelligence agencies should also update us on the situation right now because there is all ongoing massive escalate na ang kaning mga demonstration. No? So I hope that during the meeting this will be discussed. What are some measures, especially about the control, the management control, the maximum tolerance of the protesters, the city areas, and of course there should be a dialogue and negotiation if and when this protest, national protest, and including our city will erupt. So, thank you. I just brought this one so that for the information of this member of this August body. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, Councilor Roger. Anyway, no more? Okay, let's proceed. Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. May we proceed with our business of the day. Item number 1, proposed resolution 2025-36 declaring as operative in its entirety effective on the date fixed therein. Resolution number 8, series of 2025, of the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Tumpagon, the city, covering its supplemental budget number 1 for CY 2025 with an estimated income of 797,732 pesos. May I request Councilor Kenneth John Sakala be recognized, Madam.
Councilor Kenneth Sakala, you recognize. Di ba gyud ka na ako makita niya, Councilor, oy? Ana, move gamay ka na, sakto na.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon to the members of the 21st City Council, to our Vice Mayor, pinakagwapa, way pabor-pabor, Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez.
Dili ra ba karon ako ang magatag lechon?
And move for the approval of proposed resolution number 2025-36. Thank you.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second, objection. Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 2. Clerk, please. Taas ni.
Item number 2 is proposed resolution number 2025-37. Accrediting or reaccrediting, as the case may be, the herein enumerated civil society organizations, CSOs, or people's organization, POs, in the city of Cagayan de Oro for purposes of membership in the local special bodies pursuant to DILG Memorandum Circular number 2025-060 and Article 64, Rule 13 of the Rules and Regulations implementing the 1991 Local Government Code, and or for membership in the Committee on People's Organization in the City Development Council pursuant to Ordinance number 14334-2022, to wit, for reaccreditation: 1. Assumption Village Homeowners Association; 2. A Foundation for Growth Organization of the People Incorporated; 3. Bagong Buhay Muli Lingkod ng Filipino sa Pag-unlad Incorporated; 4. Barangay Makabalan Women's Development Incorporation; 5. Balay Mindanao Foundation Incorporated; 6. Celebration International Foundation Incorporated; 7. Bigaan Neighborhood Association Incorporated; 8. Cagayan de Oro Chamber of Commerce and Industry Foundation Incorporated; 9. Burgos Macahambos Livelihood Association Incorporated; 10. Cagayan de Oro Resettlement and Socialized Housing Project 2; 11. City of Cagayan de Oro Federation of Rural Improvement Club Incorporated; 12. Federation of Barangay Women Development Committee, Cagayan de Oro City Incorporated; 13. Federation of Zone 5 Bugo Neighborhood Incorporated; 14. Lapasan Urban Poor Association Incorporated; 15. Ganda Natural Farming System Philippines Incorporated; 16. The Samdana Institute Incorporated; 17. Villamar Subdivision Homeowners Association Incorporated; 18. United Upper Palalan Community Association Incorporated; 19. Cagayan Evangelical Disaster Response Network Incorporated; 20. Xavier Heights Subdivision Homeowners Association Incorporated; 21. CDO React Pineapple Group Incorporated; 22. Bunbun Active Fisherfolks Association; 23. Tribal Teachers and Employees Community Multipurpose Cooperative; 24. Isla Consolacion Urban Poor Homeowners Association Incorporated; 25. Oro Habitat for Humanity Incorporated; 26. People's Alliance Homeowners Association Incorporated; 27. Youth Cooperative for Ecological Protection; 28. Aluba Homeowners Association Incorporated; 29. Bolonsuri City Memorial Park Laborers Marketing Cooperative; 30. Cagayan de Oro City Tribal Council Indigenous Political Structure Incorporated; 31. Indahagville Homeowners Association Incorporated; 32. Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountant Cagayan de Oro Chapter; 33. Zone 10 Kugman Urban Poor Livelihood Association Incorporated; 34. Philippines Island Kids International Foundation Incorporated; 35. Philippine Shutokan Karate Association Region 10 Incorporated; 36. Mother Ignacia National Social Apostolate Center; and 37. Xavier Science Foundation Incorporated. B for accreditation: 1. Cagayan de Oro Federation of Senior Citizens Association Incorporated, CAFESCA; 2. Cagayan de Oro Blessed Hope Foundation Incorporated; 3. Berhin Sakota Ganda Mothers Association; 4. Centro Lapasan CDO Senior Citizens Association Incorporated. 5. Hilltop Upper Carmen Community Homeowners Association Incorporated. 6. United Senior Citizens Chapters of Cagayan de Oro City, UNISCA Incorporated. 7. Ganda Kahiusaan Ta Tumpagon Association. 8. UAP CDO Chapter. 9. Andam Higala Incorporated. 10. Mindanao Pride Incorporated. 11. Ganda Patpat Tumpagon Farmers Association. 12. William T. Cresp Foundation Incorporated. 13. Ganda Swerting Nanay Association. 14. World Vision Development Foundation Incorporated. 15. Hugpong Katilingbanong Kabus Association Incorporated. 16. CLOI Creekside Landless Organization Incorporated. 17. Integrated Bar of the Philippines Misamis Oriental Chapter. 18. Pagatpat Cagayan de Oro Farmers Agriculture Cooperative. 19. Cagayan Organization of Pastors and Auxiliaries Incorporated. 20. La Paz Uno Neighborhood Association Incorporated. 21. Madagway Haganda Pigsagaan Association. 22. Lower Bantiles Urban Poor Association Incorporated. 23. MSU IIT National Multipurpose Cooperative. 24. Pamana Pinoy Traditional Hilot. 25. Golden Friendship Eco-Friendly Transport Cooperative. 26. Pag-asa Western Colambog Landless Association Incorporated. 27. Osminia Junkers Association Incorporated. 28. Arten United Truckers Association Incorporated. 29. World War II and Post-War Veterans Misamis Oriental Organization Incorporated. 30. Federation of Uptown Village Homeowners Association Incorporated. 31. Taglimaw Hapagganda Mamshis Association. 32. Avilarin Neighborhood. 33. Organic and Sustainable Growers Society Incorporated. 34. Sambag Kamamanan Landless Association Incorporated. 35. Center for Emergency Aid Rehabilitation and Development Incorporated. 36. Intercessors for the Philippines Barog CDO Chapter. 37. Kapunungan sa Batu Upland Tribal Tillers Incorporated. 38. Mambuaya Integrated Social Forest Farmers Association. 39. Santo Niño Landless and Homeless Association Incorporated. And 40. Teach for the Philippines Incorporated.
Thank you, Turks. May I request, Madam Chair, to recognize Councilor Maximo Rodriguez III.
Councilor Jan Rodriguez, you're recognized.
Proposed, Madam Chair, resolution number, move for the approval, 2025-37, for re-accreditation, 37, and for accreditation, 40, a total of 77, Madam Chair.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 3, proposed ordinance number 2025-55, appropriating the sum of 23,222 pesos and 35 centavos from the item non-office general public services sector, special purpose fund, terminal leave benefits, monetization of leave credits, earmarked for Ms. Jelly A. Pacino, local legislative staff officer 3 of the Office of Sangguniang Panglungsod, Office of the City Secretary, in the 2025 annual budget to be made available for the payment of the terminal leave pay deficiency of former City Councilor Attorney Jose Pepe S. Abo Jr., whose term ended on June 30, 2025. Move for it. May I request Councilor Yan Lamlim be recognized?
Councilor Yan Lamlim, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of purpose ordinance number 2025-55.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Item 4, proposed ordinance number 2025-56, appropriating the sum of 3,824.90 centavos from the item non-office general public services sector, special purpose fund, terminal leave benefits, monetization of leave credits, earmarked for Ms. Jelly A. Pacino, local legislative staff officer of the Office of the Sangguniang Panglungsod, Office of the City Secretary, in the 2025 annual budget to be made available for the payment of the terminal leave pay deficiency of former City Councilor George S. Go King, whose term ended on June 30, 2025. May I request Councilor Enrico De Salcedo be recognized, Madam.
Councilor Enrico Salcedo, you recognize?
Proposed ordinance number 2025-56. I move for the approval, Madam Chair.
And a second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 5, proposed ordinance number 2025-57, appropriating the sum of 20,477 pesos and 90 centavos from the item non-office general public services sector special purpose fund, terminal leave benefits, monetization of leave credits, earmarked for Miss Jelly A. Pacino, Local Legislative Officer 3 of the Office of the Sangguniang Pangunsod, Office of the City Secretary, in the 2025 annual budget to be made available for the payment of the terminal leave paid deficiency of former City Councilor Christian Rostico Atsas, whose term ended on June 30, 2025. May I request, Madam Chair, that Dishri Hino be recognized.
Councilor Des Dahino, you recognize?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the approval of the proposed ordinance number 2025-57.
And a second? Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 6, ordinance number 2025-58, granting one salary grade increase from SJ 11-1 to SJ 12-1 to Miss Ludivina V. Hanyo, midwife 2 of the Girbor General Services of General Hospital City, who compulsorily retired from the government service effective June 16, 2025 to pursuant to Section 30 of Republic Act 7305, Magna Carta for Public Health Workers, and for this purpose, appropriating the sum of 7,532 pesos and 52 centavos from the savings of the Personal Services, Salaries and Wages under Item 2, City Government Assistant Department Head 2 of the GR Bora General Hospital City for the period January 16 to 18, 2025 in the annual budget to be made available for the payment of her 3-month salary differential. May I request, Madam Chair, that Councilor Yan Lamlim be recognized?
Councilor Yan Lamlim, you recognize?
Madam Chair, everything's in order. I move for the approval of purpose ordinance number 2025-58.
And a second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 7, proposed ordinance number 2025-59, granting exemption from payment of amusement tax to the Win-Win Corporation and 90DB Production, represented by its president and CEO, Miss Jennifer Abreu, covering its sponsored concert, Dub, Ben and Ben, live in CDO on September 20, 2025 at the Atrium Limkitkai Mall, this city. May I request Councilor George Christopher Gukin.
Councilor Chris Goking, you have the floor?
Yes, I move to approve proposed ordinance number 2025-59.
And a second? Point of inquiry?
Point of inquiry and request for information, Madam Chair. I would like to ask, kung committee hearing ba ni regarding ani sa atong amusement tax kay just so happened na last fiesta our bamboo concert mo gyapon na wave. Now, the reason karon, I hope that it is true, Madam Chair, na this fundraising initiative sa atong certain President and CEO, Ms. Jennifer Abreu, is for the leukemia patients and parents organization Leo Papo Incorporated. I would like to ask lang, Madam Chair, kung niagi ba ni sa for approval na magyuta. So I fear, Madam Chair, na this will be used to other events, coming events, especially our national artists. Now, it is gwapo unta na naapoy amusement tax because kailangan po nato na, pero nakabutang man gyud ni Madam Chair, which is I'm very grateful. I hope lang, Madam Chair, na naatay resibo na padulong dito tanan ang proceeds sa atong Leukemia Parents and Patients Organization kay ngano kay basig wala nya himuon na sa uban.
Yes.
Okay pud unta kung local artist kani national. I see, Madam Chair,
How
that
much is the ticket?
the tickets are here are 5,500, 4,500, 3,500, 800, 600, and total revenue expected is 2.170 million.
And
Two
will they
million.
are exempted?
And then they are accepted.
So is that kuha na ba na sa committee hearing? Who is the chairman of amusement? Ways and Means, yes. Councilor Chris,
Councilor Alap.
Lim, yes, please. Meaning to say that they will not pay any amount, but then it's too expensive. The ticket is very expensive, di ba? Oh yes, Councilor Alan Lim.
Ipasa ni sa ako gikan sa kang mayor. So ang ila is we will ask the receipt ang ilang donation. I'm asking after the concert, please give us the acceptance ang ilang gidonate sa leukemia.
Yes, Councilor Amy Moreno. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, Madam Chair, I'm very appreciative of the effort of the organizer to donate para sa Lupapu. However, as stated in their letter, wala may amount na gibutang sa
Precisely
organizer.
why? Yeah.
So, pwede gyapon na maghatag lang sila og
Ginagmay.
5,000, then that's already accepted
Correct.
based on the letter that they had given. But other than that, Madam Chair, I've attended several committee meetings when it comes to concerts or events in the city. Daghan kaayo mga negosyante ang maghangyo na kung pwede itangtang ang amusement park, ang amusement taxes.
Okay.
However, as much as I would want to present or to help support the businesses, ang ACOA is welfare. Una ang city. So what law applies to one must apply to all.
All.
So if we allow this, Madam Chair, then the succeeding kanang mga requests sa ATOA, dili nato pwede balibaran. Mr.
Correct,
Chair.
correct. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Councilor Aga Suwan.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I reviewed the revenue code, Madam Chair, due to lack of attachments, appropriate documents, and even a lack of committee meeting. It is in my opinion, Madam Chairman, that this item does not qualify to be exempted in the amusement tax. If we are to exempt, Madam Chairman, it should be, the institution should be a non-profit, non-stock for promotion of cultural and arts, for exhibits, for education purposes, and of course, during fiesta season also. But this one, Madam Chairman, it doesn't fall in any of that. In the local government code, the province may impose 30% amusement tax. In our local ordinance, we only imposed a meager 5%. And that is to discourage these people to ask for exemption. So from 30% from the local government code, our revenue code only asks for 5%, which is a very small amount anyway, Madam Chairman. And in the previous City Council, Madam Chair, we always conduct committee meetings with regards to exemptions.
Okay.
And if I recall correctly, if you remember correctly, we approved the dinosaur exhibition, Madam Chairman.
Yes.
And that was for kids and for children's education. But in the committee level, we have also denied a few proposals from such businessmen, Madam Chairman. So again, to reiterate, Madam Chair, I don't think this one qualifies for an exemption.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Ibi Mano.
Thank you again and good afternoon, Madam Chair. Again, the cause is good naman sa likod nga. It's for, again, leukemia patients and okay naman siya, Madam Chair. But ang naa sa ilang letter, nag-submit sila letter sa atong local chief executive on September 2. It's September 15 today and the concert is on the 20th. Napatay almost 2 weeks for a hearing, and hearing the comments of my colleagues, wala na committee hearing. Ang tubag kaganina pa yun, Madam Chair, kung wa ko masayop, pig na lang kung nasayop ko sa aton chairman sa committee ba, ngagikan sa ato ang local chief executive. But there is a separation, Madam Chair, sa ehekutibo ug sa legislatibo nga mga branches sa government. So I think, Madam Chair, kita being the legislative branch of the government, galantaw man kita sa kaayuhan sa syudad, same as what mentioned by Councilor Amy Moreno. Number one, it did not go to committee hearing. Number two, they're asking for a full tax exemption. Again, wala nila gi-mention kung pila ka percent ang ila pag yung ihatag sa mao nga organization.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, how much,
How much?
Mr. Secretary, did you mention?
105
105,000
Ano?
is 5% of the 2.1.
sa kuan na, sa 5% na siya. Oh.
Madam Chair, if it's okay, ang syudad, kinahanglan man po tawag revenues.
Yeah.
No, for us to sustain. Ang taxes ba ang atong bloodline
Yeah.
sa syudad. So kung ingon na manggani, Madam Chair, mga tag insakto nga
Correct.
number kung pila ka percent, and if gusto gyud sila, Madam Chair, dili siguro exemption. Kung pwede, discount lang, sir, 25%.
Yes.
20% discount.
Yeah.
But Madam Chair, with this being tackled and discussed now, Madam Chair, basin pwede dili lang sa siguro nato i-exempt. Or if ever, maybe kumusugot
Okay.
25%. Thank you, Madam
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Majority Florida. You're raising your hand. Okay, Councilor, nakalimutan ko sa galanig. Dagkan mo kay mo ng grace yung kamot. Councilor Majority Florida Attorney Edgar Cabanlas.
Madam Chair, we give exemption to amusement tax during fiestas.
Only fiestas
This is not
or Christmas.
not a fiesta. And with regards to originally the amusement tax for the city is 20%, or 30. And then there was this meeting that we had before with the Committee on Ways and Means that in order to di pod maalkansi ang syudad, we have this we agreed to reduce the 30% to 5%. Para wala na yung mahay. Lugar mo na ni siya tanan. Para wala na yung hangyo-hangyo.
Tumo na yun na siya fixed.
Ayaw na. Eksakto na ng 5%. Kila na kayo. Kaya ano kayo kanang sobra rakot.
So meaning we will not exempt them here now.
No, dili na. Kay dako sa
And then hopefully majority floor leader, they have to go through the process of committee hearing.
yes.
Okay, that way babaon na nato. Like for example, Ben and Ben is expensive. The Bini expensive. So meaning babaon na nato pila na. But then nobody is, I think, is exempted.
That's why in our ordinance, nobody should be exempted, but
Yes.
we
Reduce.
substantially the
Correct.
amusement tax. So okay na ning 5%.
So we still have to collect the 5%. So there's no exemption then.
So whether they will donate or not, basta 5% ang ato.
Okay. So how do we reinstate that?
Kaya imo papangitaon na-
Restate that.
I move for not table, but
Defer mo na.
approval, but to impose the 5%.
I impose.
Na. Sige na. So table.
To table.
Table.
But then who is going to tell them that because there's no more committee hearing, who's going to tell them that you have to pay the 5%?
No, treasurer na.
Okay. Sige. So lay on the table.
Move to table this proposed ordinance.
Mora ba yun nga word? Table. Is that one word?
So
Table.
that it cannot be again
Okay.
discussed next week.
Okay. So any second? Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried. Hopefully we will not repeat the same mistake again. We have to do the committee hearing para how about those concerts nga dagko gyud kay sa nga tanan para mabawaan po nila sa ilang nga pila po nilang bayro nun. So we do that next time. Ha? Kinsa man na siya? Ha? Kinsa na si Michael? Michael. Bagets niya, gato ka di ko bagets. Tingalan. Si Paid My Love. Michael. Okay. Michael. Lagi na. So, meaning, the more that they will be earning, the more na makakuha punta sa ato pod end. Di ba? Anyway, sige. Let us proceed. Next time, committee hearing. There should be a committee hearing.
So, Madam Chair,
Mag-second na ta.
Second.
Any second? Kay Gilay naman to. So, wala na second, kay Gilay siya. Okay.
Item 8. Clerks 8, please.
Item number 8 is proposed ordinance number 2025-60, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Lando A. Uy, representing the City Government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Understanding with the Asia Society for Social Improvement and Sustainable Transformation, ASSIST, represented by its Director for Program, Mr. Francis A. Makatulad, covering the collaboration of the parties in mainstreaming disaster risk management education through the Master of Disaster board game and other relevant activities under the terms and conditions stipulated therein.
May I request Councilor Gani, Paulo Gani be recognized, Madam Chair.
Councilor Paulo Gaani, you recognize?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader, Attorney Ed Cabanlas. I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2025-60.
Any second?
Second.
Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second.
Dapat additional terms lang.
Objection?
May I request, Madam Chair, may I move that we include in our agenda? Include.
I have, diba, naglibog na ko ninyo. Wala pa na manog second. Second pa ko.
Second. Wala ba?
Wala pa. Second pa ta. Final reading. The final, mana. Nag-second na. Objection.
Wala.
Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
May I move for inclusion, Madam Chair, item 9. Madam Chair, 10.
Yes. Yes. Majority Floor Leader?
May I, Councilor, be recognized, Madam Chair.
Councilor Agasuan, you recognize?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. May we also add in the inclusion, Madam Chair, our conveyance of condolences to Kapitan Eddie Abrugar and his family because of his untimely death, Madam Chairman. So subject to styling, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Kapitan, former Kapitan Bayabas, Eddie Abrugar, yes. So, for inclusion, any more? No more? Okay. For inclusion.
Item 9. Search. Wala man. Item 9. Proposed resolution number 2023.
Yes, yes, Councilor Roger Abaday.
I was overtaken by Councilor Swan.
Okay.
Silang. But I have two favors to ask, Madam Chair, if it is not too much for the members of the City Council. A resolution commending, appreciating, whatever adjectives, to the former Chief of Police, Colonel Radam, was outgoing.
Outgoing na siya.
Director.
Yeah.
Director, subject for styling. And another, Madam Chair, we have a new Kokpo director. Can we invite the Kokpo director to be with us in the next session so that we can we will know his profile and what are his plans regarding peace and order in the city.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Councilor
Thank you very
Roger,
much.
thank you very much. Yes, Councilor Majority Floor Leader. Councilor Janjan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For inclusion, one more. Madam Chair, I move for inclusion of a resolution commending Javier Alessandro Javi Hakutin Mariona, a proud son of Cagayan de Oro, for his achievements in football as a member of the Philippine national team, whose talent, character, and dedication bring honor and pride to our city and inspire the youth to pursue excellence in sports, Madam Chair.
Yeah, from Cagayan, the grandmother is grandfather is Akutin and the grandmother is Balinado. Yeah, that is now the Apo. Who is excelling into football.
Diki, anak.
Diki, anak ni Diki.
Our
Enzo said,
So item number 9. Proposed resolution number 2025-338 strongly urging the barangays to assign at least 2 psychosocial focal persons to promote mental health awareness and well-being in the city.
and it's,
May I request Councilor Maximo T. Rodriguez III.
Councilor Janjan Rodriguez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move to approve proposed resolution number 2025-38, strongly urging the barangays to assign at least 2 psychosocial focal persons. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 10, proposed resolution number 2025-39 urging the City Health Office in coordination with the Department of Education, Department of Health, and public and private schools to implement enhanced surveillance, preventive measures, and public information campaign in the response to the confirmed cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease in one of the private schools in the city and to ensure the protection of children in all public and private schools in Cagayan de Oro City. May I request Councilor Paulo Gani be recognized.
Councilor Paulo Gaani, you recognize?
I move for the approval of proposed resolution number 2025-39.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 11, proposed resolution.
Second.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 11, proposed resolution number 2025-40 expressing the 21st City Council's sympathy and condolences to the bereaved family of the late former Punong Barangay Biabas, Eddie Abrugar, subject to styling, Madam Chair. Move
And-
for its approval, members of the City Council.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Item 12, proposed resolution number 2025-41 commending Police Superintendent Radam Salvador Adam for his sterling leadership as City Director of Cagayan de Oro City Police Office, subject to styling, Madam Chair.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
The movants are all members of the City Council, including this one now, the last item, 13. Proposed resolution number 2025-42 commending Javier Alessandro Hakutin Mariona for bringing honor and pride to Cagayan de Oro City through his achievements in football, subject to styling. Members of the City Council are all proponents of this measure, Madam Chair.
Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve on second final reading.
Second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried.
There being no other matters to attend to, move for its adjournment of our session, Madam.
Any second? Digid mo tuog is Councilor Roger Abaday. Butindog gid siya. Any second? Objection? Hearing none, motion is hereby carried. God bless us all. Session adjourned.